My name is Charlotte Hayes, and once upon a time I believed in forever. On my wedding day, when Adrian Collins held my hands under the soft golden lights, I felt chosen. Truly chosen. You are my forever, my husband whispered. I trusted that promise with every part of my heart. Standing beside me that day was my younger sister, Madison Hayes. She was radiant, confident and full of life. Where I was calm and reserved, she was bold and magnetic. But she was my sister, my blood, my safe place. I never imagined she would become the reason my world would fall apart. A beautiful beginning. The first 2 years of marriage felt like a dream. Adrian would surprise me with flowers. We would cook together, laugh at midnight jokes, and talk about the future, about children, about traveling, about building a life filled with love. Madison visited often. At first, I was happy that my husband and my sister got along so well. They laughed easily together. They shared similar interests, music, art, business ideas. I thought it was harmless. I thought it was beautiful. I thought I was lucky. The quiet distance. But love does not break loudly. It cracks in silence. Adrian started coming home later than usual. He smiled at his phone more often. When I asked who he was texting, he would say, "Just work." Madison's visits became more frequent. Sometimes I walked into a room and felt like I had interrupted something. The air would feel heavy. The laughter would stop, and a strange silence would fill the space between us. I ignored it because I trusted them completely. The message that changed everything. One night, Adrian left his phone on the kitchen counter. A notification lit up the screen. Madison. I hate pretending. I wish we didn't have to hide. My heart stopped. Hide? My hands trembled as I stared at those words. I felt cold, numb. I wanted to believe it meant something innocent. But deep down, my heart already knew the truth. Chapter 5. The Restaurant. 2 days later, Adrian told me he had an important meeting. Something inside me refused to stay silent. I followed him. I watched him walk into a quiet restaurant downtown. And there she was, Madison, sitting across from my husband. They were not sitting like family. They were sitting like lovers. When he reached across the table and gently brushed her hair away from her face, my heart shattered in a way I cannot describe. I didn't scream. I didn't confront them there. I simply turned around and walked away. Because sometimes pain is too deep for noise. The confession. That night, I stood in our living room waiting for him. When Adrian walked in, I looked at him with tears in my eyes. "Are you in love with her?" I asked. He didn't deny it. He didn't even look surprised. Yes. That single word destroyed 2 years of marriage. "How long?" I whispered. "Almost a year." A year, while I trusted him, while I prayed for our marriage, while I defended him in front of others. He had already chosen her, my sister. The next morning I went to Madison. She opened the door and instantly began to cry. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said. "But it did," I replied. "I love him." 3 words, 3 knives. "You're my sister," I said through tears. "Out of every man in the world, you chose my husband?" She had no answer, because betrayal has no excuse. The final choice. Adrian asked for time. But love triangles do not survive on confusion. A week later, he stood in front of me and said the words that ended everything. "I want Madison." No apology, no hesitation, just a decision. He packed his clothes and walked out of the house we once built together. The door closed, and so did my old life in The Woman in the Mirror. The divorce was quiet. No screaming, no dramatic scenes, just papers, signatures, silence. People whispered about me. Her husband left her for her sister. I stopped going out. I stopped answering calls. Every morning, I looked in the mirror and asked myself, was I not enough? But slowly, something began to change. Pain can either destroy you or rebuild you. I chose to rebuild, becoming strong. I enrolled in a business course I had once postponed. I started working. I started exercising. I started focusing on myself instead of the betrayal. And one day I realized something powerful. A man who can leave his wife for her sister was never truly loyal. His choice was not my failure. It was his weaknesses. That realization freed me. Reality returns. Almost a year later, I saw them again at a family event. Madison looked tired. Adrian looked distant, the same distant expression he once had before betraying me. When trust is broken once, it never fully heals. Madison walked up to me slowly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. For the first time, I felt no anger. "I forgive you," I said calmly. Not because she deserved it, but because I deserved peace, a new beginning. Life surprised me when I least expected it. At a conference, I met Daniel Brooks. He was calm, respectful, honest. He didn't rush me. He didn't flirt aggressively. He simply listened. One evening, while we were walking under city lights, he said something simple. "I don't want confusion. I choose you clearly." And for the first time since my heartbreak, I felt safe. Not excited in a chaotic way, but peaceful. And I realized something. True love does not hide. It does not betray. It does not compete. It protects. The woman I became. My husband chose my sister. Once that sentence was my humiliation. Now it is just a chapter in my story. He chose her. But I chose myself. And that choice built a stronger, wiser, more confident woman than I ever imagined I could become. Losing him was not my loss. It was my freedom. And sometimes, the most painful endings create the most powerful beginnings. Life with Daniel was gentle and peaceful. There were no lies, no secrets, no fear, just small moments that felt warm and real. Every morning, he would make me tea and wait for me to sit down before starting his day. Every evening, he would walk me home slowly, holding my hand as if nothing else mattered in the world. He never tried to impress me with grand gestures or big promises. Instead, he showed love through small actions. A soft smile when I was upset, listening patiently when I poured out my thoughts, and always making me feel safe, heard, and valued. With Daniel, I learned that love doesn't have to be loud to be real. It doesn't have to be dramatic to be powerful. It doesn't need to thrill you with excitement or risk to feel alive. Real love is calm, consistent, and kind. And for the first time, I experienced that kind of love. I laughed again. I smiled again. I dreamed again, not because the past disappeared, but because I was finally free to feel happy. The pain from Adrian and Madison no longer controlled me. It had taught me lessons, yes, but it had also made me stronger. And with Daniel beside me, I felt a sense of peace I had never known before. One quiet evening, we walked under the city lights, the streets empty and calm. Daniel stopped and looked at me with soft eyes. "I don't want a perfect woman," he said gently. "I want a true partner. Someone real, someone honest, someone I can trust." Those words touched my soul, because real love isn't about appearances, or passion, or excitement. It's about respect, trust, and loyalty. It's about standing together when life is ordinary, not just when it's exciting. I realized then that I had finally found what I had been searching for all my life. Someone who chose me, not for convenience, not for desire, not for lust, but because I was worth it, and slowly my heart healed. Every day with Daniel was a reminder that love can be gentle, that happiness doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it waits quietly until you are ready to receive it. And I was ready. I had chosen myself. I had healed. And now I could finally choose love again. Love that didn't betray. Love that didn't hide. Love that simply protected me.